Sheriff Rob Maciol, this is not anything to be joking around about. This has been a horrible week for our community, a horrible, really, 30 days for the country, and we continue to get these threats. Jarvis, a part of Central Valley Academy in Mohawk, finally had a quiet day yesterday. Parents and teachers, administrators, and psychologists were all able to get together and talk about a plan to move forward. Yesterday, Sheriff Rob Maciol in Albany on a school safety meeting, and Sheriff is joining us right now. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
What did we learn yesterday out of all of this?
First off, I just want to certainly mention our local electeds. They are phenomenal to work with.
Yeah.
Whether it's Democrat or Republican. In the Assembly, Assemblyman Brindisi, Miller, McGee, Blankenbush, Butler, top shelf. In the Senate, same thing. Griffo, Seward, Valesky, top shelf.
Yeah.
The Senate, the New York State Senate, they put a series of bills through which we were very, very satisfied with, very happy with. They're talking about potentially up to $50,000 for schools to hire SROs or law enforcement for security. They're talking about state aid for safety and technology equipment, whether it's a metal detector or increased cameras. They're talking about each school district providing the funding to hire a mental health service coordinator. Just some really smart, great ideas. And then, unfortunately, we get to the other side in the Assembly, and when we see the first document from the Speaker of the Assembly, Carl Hastie, I mean, he immediately goes against the sheriff's recommendations. And it's not just me. This is every sheriff across the entire state.
Right.
But we need to put security in the schools as a quick fix, not quick fix, but as soon as possible to harden up these targets. And the first thing he comes out and says in writing, this will only provide an illusion of safety. He says we should be eliminating guns on the streets instead of putting more guns in the school. So we're very frustrated by that. We're still confident because the folks we talk to, the Assembly people on our side and the Senate, they're confident that something will come out of this because obviously the Assembly puts their proposals in, the Senate puts theirs in. They all have to give and take on all sorts of topics, and this is a priority, like I said, for nearly every elected official, except when you get down towards the Assembly. That's where we start losing it. And the unfair thing to us is every city school in New York, every New York City school, they have armed security in it. We can't have them up here.
Metal detectors. They have
everything.
Yeah.
Everything. It's very frustrating for us.
Sheriff, listen, I think the way any logical person, if you look at this, the first thing we have to do is treat this as any police agency would treat it. You must first secure the area.
Correct.
Okay,
exactly.
that shouldn't be a part of a debate over guns at all. It should be, we know we have a problem. We have copycats. Let's secure the area.
Exactly.
And then we can debate over, do we focus on mental health, which certainly has to be done? Should there be some sort of a unified legislation that works across the country? That's worth debating. But I don't know how you can debate securing the area and making sure that if somebody comes in, there's a police officer there to at least make an attempt to protect these kids.
Exactly. And that's what's frustrating. Because like I said, when this speaker, he comes out and he says that it's going to be an illusion of safety. My God, come on, stop. Yeah. And it's just, that's where it gets frustrating. But, we're confident that something good will come out of this. It has to. These things cannot continue. I mean, yesterday alone, between the Westmoreland and the Holland Patton case investigations, nearly all my resources were tied up for those 3 hours. Right. Everything I had was tied up on that. And in the end, we made one arrest in Holland Patton, a juvenile, for making a terroristic threat. The Westmoreland one is still under investigation. That was a little different. That was a bomb threat, which we dealt with in years past. That was something a little bit different. But it was written on a tattered note found in the bathroom floor. But we have to take all these things seriously. But But it's just, like I said, when you know, like everyone, like I said, is on the same page except when we get downstate, and I just can't understand how that can shut this process down. And that's very frustrating.
Was there any kind of, I mean, because, you know, put aside the whole armed security officer at the school, I mean, the funding for the cameras and the metal detectors and the funding for the mental health increase. Did you get any indication that there would be compromise on those fronts?
I don't know. All the like I said, all the leader wants to talk about in his actual statements that he's making himself, plus his written letters, is just he wants to eliminate guns. And obviously, come on, there's 315 million guns in America today. There's more guns than there are people. The guns aren't going away. We've got to focus on these other things, you know. And we met with many other assembly members. David Weprin, he's on board with us. Joe Lenthal is sort of on board with us. We didn't actually meet with him. We met with his staff. And then, like I said, on the Senate side, we sat with the leader, John Flanagan. We sat with John G. Francisco. I mean, these people are all they're all assuring us they're going to work as hard as they can to try to get some of these school initiatives through. You know? So we're being hopeful. We know it's not going to happen overnight. Kind of late in the process. You know, a lot of budget decisions are already made, but you know, we're going to keep trying. And in the meantime, we're going to do everything we can to protect our kids. We do every day. But, you know, and at the end, and we had some very productive conversations with all these elected officials on other topics not related to this. I mean, everybody's on board with the opiate stuff. We're looking for more funding for opiate programs in the jail, you know, so they're on board with that. You know, I get frustrated because, like, the downstate folks, you know, they have all kinds of issues. Let's say, for example, in Rikers Island. They think all our county jails are like Rikers Island. Right. Rikers Island. Yeah. You know, we cannot. We're trying to encourage them. Please come up here and visit us and see what we do and see our work and see what a great operation we have. We're not running Rikers Island in every one of these counties.
It is a world of difference. The belief of the life that is led and the belief of what kind of life is led upstate. With a lot of these downstate assembly people, it is there's such a difference in culture. It makes it very difficult. It is like night and day. So, all right, Sheriff, very interesting. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you very much.
And hopefully it's a quiet day throughout the area.
We're hoping and praying for a quiet day. We just want to get life back to normal here forever.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much.
Very good. Thank you.
Sheriff Rob Maciol.